Professor Wang, thank you very much for agreeing to do this interview. My first question would be, your talk was about minimally invasive surgery. So what actually got you motivated to explore this subject?
Yeah, Memu, that's a great question. I mean, spine is amazing. You just have to come to this conference and see the wide variety of spine technology and techniques and so many great talks here at DWG. It's my first DWG meeting, by the way. And you see that there's so much that spine surgeons can do now, so why just focus on MIS, right, minimally invasive? I think the reasoning behind this is that if you see what most patients are really afraid of, they hear all these things about spine surgery, some of it not so true, some of it has some basis in reality, that we want to be offering patients better and better options to treat their problems, right? And I think that, some people think of minimally invasive as a marketing ploy or just like I say I do minimally invasive, but the reality is the technology is real. And so it is a real adventure. I've been in this business for over 20 years, that there are new developments that we can participate in, that we can get evidence for, that we can say, oh, this works good, this works poorly, this is what we're going to change. And so MIS has been one of the fastest changing and most exciting arenas in spine.
Thank you, that was a very great answer. The follow-up question would be, where do you think spine surgery, especially with the focus of MIS, will be in like 20, 30 years?
Well, let me just say that I think that it's a privilege to be a spine surgeon. For all the people listening out there thinking about spine surgery as a career, whether it be orthopedics, whether it be neurosurgery, whether it be traumatology here in Germany, right? Spine is an amazing field. And I'm not trying to dodge your question because there's so many ways this goes. I'll just give you some tidbits, right? For example, in America, and I'm sure it's very similar in Germany, spine is the number 2 reason for an unplanned visit to a doctor. I've taken care of all of my neighbors. I've operated on none of them. Spine problems are universal. We're relevant, even though there are not a lot of us. Spine is always in need of advancement. I look at some fields, I feel bad for some of my surgical colleagues. In other fields, it's like, your field hasn't changed much in 30 years. What's the new advance? If anything, it's something putting you out of business, right? Spine is not going to end. If you're a young doctor saying, where's a field where I can make an impact? Where's a field where in 40 years there will still be a need? Spine is that. If you have the, we call it cojones, it's a Spanish term, right? You have the grit to say, I can do spine, I want to learn it, it's very complicated, it's very technical, it's very diverse, but spine has such a big future. But I will tell you, it's going to go the way of more and more minimal. Way more minimal, way less destructive, way less painful. I think the trend is already there.
Thank you very much. And as a last question, I wanted to ask you, how you mentioned it's your first DWG. How do you like it here, and how do you like Germany?
Well, I got to tell you, I love Germany. My first trip to Germany was when I was about 9 years old. I was in Munich, München. And I just remember the sausages, and I remember the trains being on time. Then I don't want to upset the Italians, but then we went to Italy next, and the train was always stopping in the middle of the desert. We didn't know why everybody had to get off the train. Then I just remember these memories of seeing how amazingly proficient Germans were at everything they do. And we see that here with surgery. We see that the level of proficiency, the level of seriousness, the level of innovation. I was just speaking with Karen Butner-Jans. I don't know if you got a chance to interview her, the inventor of the Charité disc, the first real effective marketed arthroplasty, motion preservation, disc replacement. And she's here at this meeting. So many great people. Claudius Tolmé, obviously, Bernhard Meyer, and your I don't have to mention your leadership structure here. All amazing surgeons who are very serious about what they do. But I would want to ask you a question then, okay? What do you like about the DWG? This meeting has so much energy, there's so many people here. What do you like about this meeting?
I think it's a very great example of people who have a passion for something, which is, as you mentioned, it's not like a huge field, but there are people that have like a passion for something and they follow their passion and they meet here and kind of enjoy this so much. I think this is very, very nice to see.
Yeah, I would add also that there is this trend that's going on in medical care of the last 5 to 10 years, and the COVID pandemic made this much worse. And I'm just going to deliver this message in general, which is that A lot of doctors are losing their autonomy and they're becoming employees of hospitals and big organizations, companies, right, and whatnot. And there's this move to say, well, why do you need to go to a conference? Like, what's the point? You can get your CME credits, your education credits online. And I got to tell you, every time I go to a conference like this, I get the chance to interact with other intelligent people who are dealing with the same problems I have at home. And that interaction that happens at these meetings live really always makes me come away from every meeting, and in this one in particular, smarter, with new ideas, new inspiration to take home with me so I'm never going to burn out.
That's a very nice last word. Thank you very much for taking the interview and for the great talk.
Thank you for having me.